Hi everyone, asalaamaaleykum mbokk yi maa ngi leen di nuyu yéen ñëpp seen tur ak seen sant di leen ziar bu baax a baax comme niñ ko dee defee rek saa su ne tey nag moom ñëwaati naa fii ci plateforme Elitemedia bi ak Jalanmang Camara xam ngeen ne du fi gan waati ñëwoon na fi before amoon nañ ko fi ñu waxtaan ak moom waxtaan bu neex ci fi coronavirus ak yeneen impact mu am ci ñun si parents yi si xale yi ak ñëpp tey nag ñu ñëwaat ak moom fii indiwaat ci beneen waxtaan boo xam ne ba tey rek ci coronavirus bi Jalanmang mu ñu fàttaliwaat nit ñi boppam wax ñu moom mooy kan not in that way like ñu dem naka lañ demee woon lan moo tax mu waroon nañoo toog ba waxtaan nañu ci fi coronavirus so ñu bàyyi ko mu nuyoo waaye balaa ñoo dugg foofu bu baax a baax di wax dalalaat nit ñi rek fii ci Elitemedia ñi nga xam ne yéen a ngi seetaanee si YouTube bi di seetaanee si Facebook bi di leen wax ne samedi soir yéen ñëpp waaye kontaan naa trop comme ni ma ko dee waxee rek di wax ne ñëpp ñi nga xam ne aji jiitu la ñi nga xam ne nekkaatuñ fi di leen ñaanal yeneen yàlla xaaral àjjana te yéexee ñu ñi nga xam ne nag ñu fi yàlla yàlla def nag xol yi nekk benn tàppe xol yi ba génne coronavirus bii nga xam ne mooy mbas boo xam ne métti na loola te di wax ne yal nañu yàlla may nuñ ko dundee yàlla may ñu naka lañ ko génnee suñu biir of course ñu ne vaccine bi ñëw na loolu yëpp dañ ci waxtaan ak Jalla parce que ñu bare ngi ragal man nag dinaa bàyyi ba Jalanmang jël ba pare ma doog a dugg nag ci vaccine bii nii Jalla dalal naa la waat fii si Elitemedia ma bàyyi la nga waxtaan ak gars yi Jalla xaw ma tey nag ci olof bi nga koo jël xaw ma ban làkk waaye benn làkk la dañoo doon benn bi daal dañoo foog naa ne tey dañu war a si olof bi next time ñu ñëw ci soose bi ay man ak suma soose yi ñu ñëwaat ci pël ñëw ci saraxule daal di dugal nag ci angale bi Jalla loo bëgg rek ba tey suma boss noo ko bëggee rek kon ma baal la bàyyi daal di nuyoo su ko defee ñu daal di continuer ak waxtaan bi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fatmata. Thank you so much for inviting me again. maa ngi nuyu yëpp di sant ñëpp si seen turu ak seen sant man la Jalanmang Camara comme ni ko Fatoumata waxoon rek ñëwoon naa fi at the time at the time was based on domestic violence naka la moo affecté xale yi and then the family system so loolu leen doon waxtaan last time waaye this time nag we are faced with something totally different and is unprecedented in the history of our generation. So it's a difficult time for everyone. So you forget what you just know is important in what yefim basbi my coronavirus and then see how we can help and share ideas in terms of coping with it because Mufi could do them, so we need to look at solution wise, how do we work out things in a way that we can help one another as a family, as a community, as a global village. So Sika Lulu man my Jalanmang Camara, my small, Ligue Yeps the Gambia up to now, the first to see if you had a Manfugla Ligue. So fi si dekabini Angleterre mangi ligue si social services be di jiite benn mbootaay foofu boo xam ne mu ngi liggéey ak xale yi gis ne tam parents yi ak xale yi dimbale leen and also ensuring xale yi they're safe so more or less that's where the focus is at this moment.
ok jërëjëf Jalanmang kontaan naa lool si loolu wax nga ni ne social service nga liggéey loolu mu nekk lu important parce que dinañ laal ci xale yi bu baax laal ci families fi mu nekk nii Jalla man dama ne sax nit ñi dañ dem ba gëmatuñ ne coronavirus am na parce que nit ñaa ngi koo fayantoo surtout sax fi nga xam ne foofu lañ jógee mu di Gambia wala Africa in general waaye nag du African countries because maa ngi follow am na yenn dëkk yu ma follow gis naa ne they are still taking it very seriously waaye Gambia moom gis naa ne jëluñ ko very serious waaye ba tey rek nañ dugg ci loolu noonu Jalla fan nga bëgg ñu commencé waxtaan bi tey fan nañ ko war a gën a commencé peut-être daal di tàmbale.
Well, first of all dama bëgg ñu waxtaanee ko from our lu ma wax mooy ne lu ñu wax pro-virus and antivirus so am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne gëm nañ ne virus bi am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne gëmul ne virus bi am na so foofu leen ko war a dooree and then of course sometimes then am nit ñoo xam ne they are in a denial nanguwun ñoom ba léegi they feed into what is called conspiracy theory ñoom loolu la ñoo toppa and then they feeding into negative things ne coronavirus be amut is just a conspiracy theory. Why I just want to say first of all bala ñu start Fatmata I would like to extend my condolences to all those brave families who has lost their loved ones to coronavirus. This is real, Digala. I have seen people who I have known very well. Unfortunately, they have gone, and then it's nothing, no explanation or narrative given to it but coronavirus. So if you are not infected, you are affected. So as a nation, as a family, as a community, we need to accept this virus is here. I think it's delusional. Kon lu ma ko wax ne nga foog ne virus bi amul, virus bi mu fi te ñu yëpp ne la ka di affect fu mu nekk nii. Then war a xam ne the world cannot be, stagnated. Yeah, because there is no theory behind it, So this is real, and then I want people to take it seriously. And you must be, I'm the movie, and then denial is not going to solve the problem. It's to face this is a new way of life that we all found ourselves. Why can fogune the next situation be? But the fundamental issue when let's accept amna, and then if you tell me, nah, I'm not worried about back home in the Gambia. I'm very worried, I'm very worried because I know our health system is very fragile. And also sometimes when I look at, the social gatherings and how people, the theory they are peddling around, def ma dey worried because ma ngi ñaan yàlla guddi ak bëccëg yàlla ñu yàlla musal si mbas bi, because we don't have the infrastructure to deal with it, at all. Manfi, I have seen it. I've been to wards. The people are on nursing bed, on their dying bed. Their loved ones are not next to them. And then, I have a scenario. Is very touching. Key, is a close family friend. Go, is only the ambulance took the person. Before the person is dead, and then neither the wife nor the kids can go and visit him. And then it's a sad situation. So I have known people. I have been in gatherings in terms of Zoom just to pay tribute to people and say goodbye because I cannot go to their funeral. So it's very sad. So it must be amna. So then what I accept must be amna. And that's the starting point, Fatmara.
Okay, nanguna finger wax nonu ne mbass bi amna, and that's a very good starting point. Why nek comme ni nga ko waxe rek nit ñi ba légui jël ko seriously, surtout ma ñi nek Africa mu nek li very very sad. Liñ la wax ni so gisé ñuy fay ñew di fi ñëwaat di ko waxaat du pour ñun, pour yeen la, parce que sa wër bi yaram pour yola du pour Fatmata ko wala du pour Jalanmang Camara. Waye te gis nañ ne tay yi ne bañ ne vaccine amna rek nit ñaan ci gëna opal gëna relax gëna xam nga am nañ nga xamne ñu ngi ragal fi vaccine bi, why at the same time mu ngi leen def seen mind baa ngi relax and they're not taking this seriously anymore. Jalanmang man foofu is my fear right now. Waaw su ma toogee ba gis videos yi nga xam ne mu ngi jógee Gambie comme ni ko Jalanmang waxee, am na ñu nga xam ne ñu ngi lose seen loved ones yi te in Africa sax soo lose sa loved one you will still go, dinañ la oo some family members dañ leen oo pour ngeen ñëw ngeen gis body bi ak yooyu noonu. Here is completely different. It's a complete lockdown. So lose a loved one. Jabar bi ci boppa ki gën a jege jëkkër ji wala jëkkër ji gën a jabar ji, yaay ji gën a jege papa bi wala papa gën a jege wala doom bi yëpp, no matter how close you are, you're not going to the hospital with that loved person. So come on guys, loolu rek boo ko xalaatee war na laa tax nga ne xaaral ma fanka defal suma boppa. Gis nga yàlla mu ne toppatoo sa boppa moo ma gënal, xam man xale ko waxatee sa fàtte naa loolu xanaa anasaatu fi dugal si woon dimbal ma ci wax boobu noonu. Ci jaamu yàlla la bokka yàlla waaw dimbalal sa boppa ma nit ma mun laa dimbale yokkal si yàlla luñ ko ñaan mu defal ñu ko wallahi. Kon nag nañ leen dimbale suñu boppa. Su fekkee ne dem nañ ba stage bu nga xam ne sa waay dina gaañu fii doo ko mën a gis doo ko mën a dégg doo mën a xamante dara ci moom, li nga ci mën a am rek mooy ñu ne la yóbbu nañ ko ci hospital sangam. Am na cases yu nga xam ne they will not even release the body to you. Kon nag let us sit back ñu xoolaat suñu boppa xam ne lii du yëfi caaxaan. We're losing loved ones every day, whether they're very close to us, whether they're not close to us, but still, for digging a Gambian gaañu na rek sa xol dafay tooy parce que they are very close to home. They are very close to you. Te bala nga xam ne coronavirus bi am na rek wallahi mu dal ki la jege bu baax a baax a baax. Moo tax li ma dee wax mooy Jalanmang na nit ñi bàyyiwaat seen xel te xam ne àddina bii nii du dara. Lépp jeex na ngi si mujjanteeli àddina nañ leen bàyyante xel di jàppale wante di dimbale wante di yëgante di seetante, parce que tey di nga dégg ñu ne diw sangama ngi nii nga waxtaan ak moom tey allahu akbar nga toog ci Facebook rek ñu ne rest in peace nga indi sa loxoy di jooy ne wuyaay yooyu man ak moom amuñ woon jaama wuyaay yooyu kii moom bëggoon naa koo call démba. Anytime you think about calling someone, pick up your phone and call that person because you never know. It could be you, it could be me, it could be Jalanmang. So there is no exception to this coronavirus. Whether you like it or not, whether you are very rich, if it was only richness, can do that. Can do coronavirus. So lolu mo la muna wone alal sax du tax coronavirus bi soko waré am ko. And it is something that we are going to live with Jalanmang for the rest of our life. It is with us. Corona dugg na si biir ba pare whether nga jël vaccine or not. Swedish people keep saying it. Whether you like it or not, we all are going to get corona somehow, someday. And you're gonna dafa nekk dafa chronic, am ñoo xam ne amul bu chronic bi, but we are going to get it. So you have to be careful. Follow leen guidelines yi WHO joxe. Toppal leen guidelines yi bu baax a baax. Toppal leen fi seen njaboot bi, surtout ma njaboot bu sew bi. Yaay yi, jigéen ñi ñoo ngi leen ay ñaax. Yéen dañ ne ñaari loxo mooy tubéy ñaari loxo mooy takamala nit kon nag ni ngeen a mën a toppatoo jëkkër yi toppatoo leen ko seen doom yi toppatoo leen ko papa yi toppatoo leen ko yaay yi te xam ne coronavirus bi is real su sa doom jógee na mu ngi génn di dem te solut masque jëlal masque bi xëcc ko mu ñëwaat nga jël masque jox ko sanitize bi make good use of it. You guys dama xamul lan fàtte xëju fi mun la ne jékki-jékki fàtte ne coronavirus is real. Man gis naa ne jigéen ñi seen biir néegi say jëkkër la ñuy gën a toppatoo maa ngi baalu nag mooy mbokk jigéen ñi parce que tey su fekkee ne Jalanmang suma jëkkër la muy génn ay jala am sanitizer baa ngi mbaa yóbbu nga masque waaye sàggan nga yow suma bopp sàggan naa suma bopp bu may génn duma xalaat suma masque suma doom buy génn duma xalaat masque am ay waay bàyyi leen defaree néegi sëy bi noonu defar néegi sëy bi fàtte sa bopp ak sa njaboot loolu mën a dem si kon Jala ma bàyyi la wax bi yow tamit nga wax tuuti. Coronavirus.
Well, so Lola, and then come no here, we just need to take it seriously. I have seen people know hamne watana nyom a week before, and then the following week, all I receive is a phone call to say due then, and then I sit in denial. Money, what? You need due then, and sometimes unfortunately, that is the reality. And then one, I cannot go to the person's house. Secondly, all I can do is to try and comfort them from a distance in terms of the family. But then I cannot even go because in Gambia, the way we grieve, we grieve as a community. You grieve together, people are there to console you and all other stuff. While now, unfortunately, due to the current situation, we're not able to do that. Yeah. So people are grieving in isolation, and then that comes with a lot of things. So the Motor program, we will look at three components. One, what is the impact of coronavirus on people, and then the second component is what is the unhelpful coping mechanisms, the ones that are very unhelpful. While the third component we look at what are the solutions, what can we do at this moment, to try and cope with it, comfort matanoko must be moved, and then we need to understand, it's sad for me to say this, why as Black people, we are more vulnerable. Because unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, associated diabetes, we are high numbers in diabetes. When you go to hypertension, we are high in blood pressure, we are high, heart problems, we are high numbers in that. So that's what makes us very, very fragile, and susceptible to this disease. So Lumota, is how do you protect yourself? Nangai funky saboba, and there are ways when you go out, look after yourself. There is no one who can do that for you. Yeah. And we have what is called social responsibility. Louis social responsibility. I don't want to be a super spreader, because they have the symptoms, I'm not symptom coronavirus. I'm going to help. Least regular guide me then you offend. No. If you have the symptoms, please follow the guidelines. You have to isolate yourself and ensure that you get the test, But to be a super spreader, you are just selfish, and that's the best way to put it. There is no way around it, So it's important and significant for all of us to take that social responsibility to protect one another, to be one another's protectors, and that's the most important here. For example, Fatmata, society must be isolation. We are all controlled. We all control at this moment. Can amut freedom. Practically, London bugana dem. Bugana ñu tuki. Bugana ñu dem football. Bugana dem do a lot of things, but they are not able to do it. and that is impacting on those people. They are isolated at this moment. Amun Ken, number one. Number two, come last time when some people are grieving. They lost their loved ones, and there is no one there to console them. What does the world look like for those people? But also what is called, the social construct of people and the stigma associated with that. Those are some of the things that we need to talk about. Because they will defer day and whatsoever. Of course, there are ways of transmission. We are all impacted, either affected or infected by the disease. But we need to understand that it is here. The other aspect also we need to look at is around depression. A lot of people you get depressed when you get down, where you are, you start to blame yourself. Understand? Lila, Bugona Def, and all other things, and those feelings are not good for you. Def either airport, restaurant, school, different areas in either in the commercial sector, in the private sector, people lose their jobs and in their numbers, and that is impacting on them as a family structure. Family structure with them is also affected. So there are a series of things, and people are fragile as we speak. At this moment, they're very fragile in terms of tension within the house because understand for bugona them do for muna them, and all other things. And then before tension starts happening. So these are some of the things you have the coronavirus from Nekani. These are the impacts is and domestic violence. The only way they can do is to try to be controlling, to be abusive. That is either a male or female or a child, adult, young. It doesn't matter. At this moment, that's the last thing anyone will need in front of them. And of course, it brings its own challenges. Homeschooling. And that's one thing I cannot get my head around, in all honesty, because homeschooling. Unfortunately, I was talking to someone. I try to help, but the way they help me with my maths in the Gambia, the way I study to do my calculations, I will get the answer. But then my son will tell me that, no, Daddy, that's not the way, But we all come to the same answer. But again, you need to be very careful because their way of learning and our way of learning is totally different. So we get frustrated in that. Why we should not give up, And sometimes more routines. So routines, they are all affected. So these are all things that you're having. Then what about soon hell and in those areas, but also sleep depression, for whatever reason, because we get a lot of worries.
Anxiety.
Yangi worry nearly dumakumuna and whatsoever lead dumakumuna def nyakana suma ligay, suma rent binakala ko fe halis buma wara yoni Gambia nakala wara defe o dema warona def la project bobu nonu. My there people, that is out of your control. Concentrate on what is in your control at this moment. Lo hamne fum nekani yanko ame, lo nga am yene yo war hew, those are out of your control. Then just government bibugana am dole in the whole world, they lose control. So they cannot do anything. If they can stop it today, they will stop it. And then it's important at this moment for you understand we are going through difficult times, and then all we need right now is communication, listening, empathy, compassion. Lonely need at this moment, where it's not blame, it's not denial, it's solution focused. Lonely what I look at, how do we get a solution? How do we create a situation whereby we could become as a cohesive family, and live together as in peaceful coexistence, so that we can battle this together and look at ways and means of navigating through this to get to aid. Why denial is not going to help us, Fatmata.
Definitely not. Xam nga corona bi bi mu ñëwee suma mbokki jigéen ñi nag ñoom dama leen yab saa yu nekk rek ma dugal seen cas xam naa one of these days dañu Fatmata moom xanaa dafa anti jigéen taa yi nii moom dafa sonal jigéen ñi fekk demeewul xam nga suma mbokki jigéen ñi rek bi corona bi ñëwee some of them were really happy because they did not know the level of coronavirus. Xamuñ ne coronavirus nekk na lu nga xam ne mun na moo rey nit because ñu bari dañ foogoon ne it's just a joke, it's one of the those things again. You in the fever, bunga hamne rek, dañoo wax nu rek fekk amul. Ben you start to lose close ones, si lañ xam ne lii amul. So ma delluwaat ci suma point bi suma mbokki jigéen ñi. Bi mu ñëwee es, a lot of people were celebrating Jalanmang. Ask me why.
Yeah.
No, I want you to ask me why.
Why do you think they're celebrating?
They felt ne, all right, legi am naa suma jëkkër fi ma ko bëgga. Suma jëkkër dematul. You see our mindset, you see the way we think. You want to be I'm not such a but reality is reality will hit, and if reality hit you, Jalanmang, you start to say to yourself, how well do I know my husband, or how well do I know my wife?
Yeah.
With the lockdown, you spend more time with the wife, you spend more time with the husband, to the extent that you wish that your husband was out there working.
Yes, exactly.
You would wish your husband was out there working, because with this coronavirus and the lockdown, we begin to see habits you want how we want the jikari amnenko, habits you know how we want the jabari amnenko, and it's so sad that amna jikari hamne no bon nagne denji muna dore. Nekun for percent domi, nekun for percent jabari. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm just saying this as it is, because these are things that you hear people call you and tell you.
Yeah.
Domestic violence will increase because you really pray to God, your husband stay at home. And now they stay at home, they feel the money is not coming in, they feel that they are seeing you 24/7, they see you as woman, how dirty you are, how unorganized you are as a woman, how attentive you are as a woman, because spending 24 hours with you before, they were spending less time. And Jalanmang, it's amazing how you spend less time with your wife, because by the time you come back home from work, the wife will run to the kitchen, the likes of me will run to the kitchen, start cooking, start putting on my makeup, start dressing up, and this is 1 hour before you get home. But if you are at home with me 24 hours, you get to see how dirty I am, you get to see how smelly I am, and it starts pissing you off. And now you as a woman fight the mudor sa jikar mu la dor mu nge dor sa domi mu nge pose ya nge lekka sax wala ya ngi defal lekka nga tek ko pour ngeen lekka sax mu la bëgga wonne munuma lekka yeen yeb munulo ma tibal man kena. Some of these men even became very aggressive during this lockdown, because they are like, all right, your father uloma, they become babies. They want you to give them so much attention, and with all we do is run our mouth, give attitude, and then guess what happens next? That's where the fight starts. And when the fight starts, that's when the hasante starts. The hasante is, wow, tay, because of lockdown, we amna, yang ma wane, topato mala, defalu mala, akioli mala defal yeb, jigen jimuge gestu fere nan la, langa ma defal, yo salu tutu li, samoram yange jo hekir, samoram yange def. You see, now, Jalanmang, where are those, the likes of me that were praying that I wish this Mwajika Jalanmang? Now he's at home, but you're not even making peace at home. Both of you. So you see, we are losing ourselves within this COVID. So we have to come Jalanmang Rungwa. It's not about Fatma Koka sitting here or Jalanmang sitting here trying to get you a solution to your problems. This is the time to actually get to know who your husband is. This is the time to actually get to know who your wife is. And your children, this is the time to get to know what they like, what they don't like, what they're doing behind closed doors. Like, you get to check their computer. Don't just use this coronavirus as an excuse and to just be lazy and sit on your sofa. It is time for togetherness, my people. It is time for you to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, because you have been missing a lot on your family. We've come to a stage whereby, Jalanmang, we raise our kids, the internet raised our kids for us. We never have the time to talk to them. We never have the time to ask them questions. But now, this is the time to actually make good use of your life. This is the time to actually engage yourself into things that you love doing the most. Because if you lose it, trust me, this is where domestic violence coming. This is where anxiety coming. This is where mental issues coming. This is where a lot of things would come in. So please don't use coronavirus as an excuse just to stay at home and then be aggressive. I
was laughing because initially, the reason why I was laughing is that, initially when the coronavirus started, I got friends, both males and females, the female friend called me and said, Jala, mune hi, so why? Mune money for now, mune say why legi mum. Amul fen fu mo dem time bu su wacce dafa wax ni money. Man suma liggéey dama busy fii laay dem suma jógee foofu fale laay dem déedéet suma liggéey kaay ñoo ma yónnee fale lii waaye there is all those excuses are out. So she was celebrating the excuses are out. And then the other way around, I had another, male friend where so why, suma ko waxee na nan toogal yi dafa wax ne man ma ngi soona dama dem liggéey léegi dama dem liggéey ëllëg lii. Now I need to test whether ki mun naa tooga naa mun tooga. So like I'm laughing because like people tested one another, and now the coronavirus bring everyone together to say let's test our skills. Kenenki di foog ne or what, if I'm at home, everything will be all right. My husband will be here. We'll spend more time together. Kenenki di one, my wife will cook for me and all of the things. And before you know, they just start getting bored of one another and tension for you. So why we can flip that out, and we can flip that out in a positive way. And small, let's flip it in a positive way. This is an opportunity, one, for self-awareness, for us to know who we are and reflect on who we are, is very important because one, what self-awareness does is that it tests you, and then when it tests you, then I use opportunity to reflect your way I can, So we have at the time, use that time to spend that time together, to bond together, and try to avoid negative feelings. Moine ngendi johonante, ngendi blameante, ki moy li, ki moy lale, ki moy lale. No. Fum nekani, darling, nyumfi, and we are in this together. Yeah. Darling, I know our budget is tight. Darling, I know you lost your job, but what can we do together? I know you wanted to do X, Y, Z. You know what? Let's put all that on pause. How can we create?
My advice to women. This is no time to think about holiday. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't know what's going. Just because you're at home, some of us as jigin, you get talk for doing. Hey, man, sa kongo mangi token. Swing ligay kay daw madi ligay. Ahara mas start madam ben holiday. Man namana dem Dubai, musuma dem Dubai. Jala nañ dem Dubai. Jala is not thinking. You're not thinking. We go to Dubai, come back, and then next thing you know, we have a problem. The problem is redundancy. One of us is redundant. So
exactly.
Think ahead of us. This is here.
Exactly.
COVID-19 is here to teach us a lesson. Whether we want to accept it or not, we need to stop living in denial. It is here. It is a sickness. It's taking life away. It's taking loved ones away. Not like by death, but even emotionally, mentally.
Of course.
How we treat coronavirus. It is with us. If I do a swing beat by I read this comment. There is this guy called Baigay. Hi, Fatumata. Can we please call the Gambian Association to see how they can help their members? We need help from our brothers and sisters, especially the association. Yes, that is possible. But there you go. If you have the number, if you can contact someone who is in the association, the Gambian Association, and tell them. Because we are not even united. Do you think the Gambian associations are working in different parts of the country? I don't really know anymore. Come on, Camara, you want to say something, right?
Yeah, so what I was about to say, I think the comment Bice made there is very significant. And one of them is how do we reach one another? Because I say to people, physically, we're socially isolated, physically, in terms of practically, we cannot go to one another and stuff like that. But this is the time for us to reach out to loved ones. This is the time to create those social network, whereby it's either through Zoom, through WhatsApp, all kinds of, network we have. We need to make the best use of them so that we can communicate with people. It's not good because isolation is very, very bad. You need to talk to people because if you don't talk to people, then I'm depression. Why the other fundamental thing because at this moment so you cannot use this opportunity. You want to feel sympathy for yourself. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Do what, try and create a situation and a routine secure. What you're doing, and those routines try and put activities into it. I put the TV on, and then I said to the kids, let's run, let's play a game, let's do something together as a family, and it will just create family cohesion. Why, our routine are disrupted. Dunde job before 12, dunde job before 11. all those things impact on you. Just behave. You know what? The coronavirus is here. Why I will get up early in the morning. I will do my routines. Why nga tida okay? Oh, do this solo. Ngagi talk. Jaru because ni kumadi gena. No, that is again feeling sympathy to yourself. That is not self-care. Because when you do that, you don't recognize yourself anymore. You see yourself, as a different person, and you start feeling pity for yourself. No. Lu def moy ni nga job nga topoto sa bopa so solo man legi I work from home. Why I work dana solo comme mangé dem liggéey. That's the way you do. You just behave, because in this coronavirus you got to be creative around it. While coming back onto the other issue boy wax moy ne, in terms of jigéen ak góor yi, and then running on holidays, those are just fu mu nekk nii man, if I was someone, we need to look at how do we, the little budget we have, how do we make the best use of it? Rather than blowing it and then coming blaming one another while we blow that budget. Because we don't know right now, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. No one can tell you that today my job is safe. No one. Even no one can tell you today my business is safe. No one. Governments are into a lot of borrowing, and then we are the people who are going to pay all that loan. Taxes will go high, and a lot of things will happen. So we just need to be very careful and understand that life is not as it is, as it should be. Life is not as it should be. It is the way it is now. So we need to accept it. This is the way it is for now. The way it should be is not. And that's what we need to accept. The moment we're able to acknowledge that within ourselves, then we'll be able to spend, good time with ourselves and also make the best use of what we have. While the other issue within the house, the manyan gori, jigeni, magi, halei, ne, nyan nalen. Let's use this time, to pause and say, ne, hamgali help. What can we do at home, as a family? Create activity program lo wara def ak sa xale yi. Why haste lolu amul place at this moment. Blamante amul place at this moment. Dreams yo xamne you have no control over amul place at this moment. Lo wara def at this moment moy ne, I want to create fun. I want to have fun with my family. I want to bond with my family. They don't know their kids, because they are the breadwinners. You don't know your kids. Some people don't even know their wives, or they don't know their husbands. This is an opportunity for you to know one another, and then build your love together. Build your love together. While you cannot build your love outside, you show love. So definitely, it doesn't work that way. When you want to sow it in your home, and then your children will see that, and it become what is called social learning, because social learning when papa def, they learn from that, or they look at what happened, they laugh. Even though we are in a stressful moment, the kids will take that in a positive way. And that is it. Why, trying to, sort people were down, nga joke because they mulo am lale o kenen kol na la Gambia demand na dara, munlo ko am nga mere nyep nak, tongo nyep nak si kebi. Hello, come on. We are better than that. Lulu, it has no place, Hale di ñew demal tok fale, hale di ñew di waxayo, jeewul bu, nga deglu ko, lu mo wax nga ko soto. Nga ne ko demal nga tok fale defal ni li hale bi defa wax ne man suma papa lu mako def.
Anger, it's all built anger because you're at home, and then some of our people they want to play strong in the head. Look, it is okay not to be strong. It is okay to be weak, as a guy or as a woman. Especially for those who think they're the breadwinners of the house or the family. They don't want to break down. They don't want to show that I am weak now. So if you don't show that, that's what happens. Now, if you that's what they bring down to Halei. Whatever they say is wrong.
Yes.
It's coronavirus. Yes, we have to lock ourselves in, but not like completely lock yourself in. You still have to go for a walk with your wife and your kids.
Of course.
All you have to do is do the necessary stuff. Wash your hands like you used to do before. Use the sanitizers more than you used to use it.
Have
your mask. Wear your gloves. Introduce your children to these things so that when they go out to play, papa, mask. How many of you can tell me ne? Someone don't like is no gain as doing the halat mask or doing the halat. You can tell me that because they don't even they forget about it. You know why? Because you are not putting it on their faces. We are not, showing them the importance of the mask, the sanitizer, washing their hands when they come home from school. We allow our kids to just, act normal. And I think that it's abnormal as a parent.
Yeah.
It is very abnormal. I mean, if you allow your kids to carry on the way they used to act, a reality check, you're losing something.
Yeah, my social responsibility is very important. We all need to take that social responsibility. We all need to ensure we follow the guidelines, let's put on a mask, you don't know who is the carrier, and then we all need to be responsible because you can give it to someone else. Some people then why don't they?
Part I'm angry about. I'm 100% sure there are a lot of people who know that they have tested positive, but they will go out in the street acting like nothing is happening to them. It's normal, and this is one thing I cannot deal with. What you're doing is like you having AIDS and sleeping with everyone. It's like a woman having AIDS sleeping with every other guy. It's like a man having AIDS and sleeping with every other a woman. So you have coronavirus because you don't want people to know. Don't sol mask, don't follow WHO wala li loi de kabi telam. So legi put nga start the sol mask because don't answer. Start sol mask because don't answer. And then you have corona. So now this is what I call selfishness.
Exactly.
I want everybody to be sad. I'm not happy, you can't be happy. I'm not like that.
Yeah, and Fatma, that's a key point. And then I think someone also made a comment. And as Gambian, sometimes we have this mentality. This is a Western thing. Do you understand? This is westernized. Why someone said, and I think that is key. Do Gambians have hobby? And that is a key point. Do you understand? And I think this is the time. We can use this time to create hobbies, because so certainly, what is your hobby? So before you know that, I'm sorry. When we're young, we need to ask, even if you want to ask someone for a date, you ask them, what is your hobby? Ask a Gambian, what is your hobby? And then you find it very difficult. They'll tell you, and I read like Satan football. Do you understand? But what else?
Never like swimming, never like reading. Wow.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's looking at some of the things that we do, like for example, Fatma, right now I don't think people will get bored, because if they get bored, they can go to your kitchen, for example, and work that. Cooking can be, if you don't like cooking, this is a cook. Some people don't like doing chores. You can use chores as your hobby in the home. Some people don't want to stretch. Some people don't want to exercise. All these are hobbies that we can do. You can walk, you can run, you can jump, you can stretch. You can do all these things. You can play, even tennis. You can play boards, games in your house. You can do reading and all other stuff. Rather than just be stuck with the social media. Sometimes those are what I call negative feelings can come into that. So those are the things that then wara bias in hell. And stuff like that. Why the other issue we need to also understand more unhelpful coping mechanism. Gambling, because that doesn't help. That is not a good coping mechanism, because
not only that, people are doing from home. They are doing the online casinos.
Exactly.
You're losing. Like I said, let me tell you this. I have been a manager of a bookies. I was one of the bookmakers. That's what they call it. Trust me, working in Ladbrokes, I taught me a huge lesson that you only win once, Jalanmang, to lose. You only lose a lot to win once. So when you win today, you'll be jumping, even giving tip to the cashiers and everything, trying to show off that you have just won. But how many times have you lost to win? You can never be a winner when you gamble a lot. The lucky winner is always the person who comes in and play the machines or bet on a horse or something and then win that same day and never come back. That is the only winner. And how many of those have we got? Not many. So you become very addictive to this. And now we are bringing the bookies in our homes. We are online.
Yeah.
And this is crazy.
So lolu jarna by hell, you know, because so nekkee di def gambling bi ni yow lu ndaw nga am lolu ngay dem dugal so ñew lose na nga gis stress bi rek nga isi ko ci sa family. Come on. Lolu den ko wara setat, you know, and whatsoever. So that's one unhelpful coping mechanism. Ñene dañu wax ne dama pon du la dimbale. Do you understand? You know, taking drugs and alcohol is not going to help you, you know. Ñene dañu tiyé ne man dama tiyé suma bopa, you know, dama isolate suma bopa. No, you have to mingle with people in your household, you know. You need to do that, you know. Or dema merte, dema stress. Understand? Stress is not going to help. Oh man, dema auma ligay, utna ligay, sona, this. All those are unhelpful things because you're still in denial that this pandemic is here and that it's going to disrupt all of us, and it has disrupted many of us. So we need to bear those things in mind. The other issue, lo xamne tam mangé ñaan yépp, you know, Fatmata, moy ne the pressure from back home.
Yeah.
Back home, they want to understand ne su fekkee ne Jalala Mudu Party Fatumata, what they were able to do in 2019, 2018, 2017, 2002, 2000 and 2000, and where we are at this moment, 2001, early 2001. Yalla, I just want by March this is to be over. At least people can get back to a state of normality. Why? Right now is the pressure from home. Yone ulomali, johuloli, lingamadonjo, and all other things. Please, nyanala, bromam yalla munko sutra, balal ko fumne kani. So if you can defladon yone either $500, £100, £200, legi munuta am lulu nun. Jegal ko nga balal ko di 5 time bin. Fumne kani in the diaspora is not easy. Of course, we send in remittance back home, you know, to help people. It's very important. And then people have been doing it. Why from Nekani, there are certain people you have they lose in jobs, you know. So back home, you learn anyan moine. So I miss a dom, so I miss a jarba, so I mean people here who are helping you and they're not able to do it again. Please don't push them because mentally they've learned affect, you know. They has to, you know, more gena bonsi. You know, nga has nit ki, you know, fekk boromam faté nga demba mun la don defal waye té munu la defal nga start di ko has lolu mom ñaan na len ngir yalla, you know, den wara avoid lolu non, you know, té den wara tiene li, you know, den ko wara waxtane du wara wax ne oh, you know, li stigma la li la, you know, den ko wara waxtane ñu ko waye ma ngi ñaan yépp ko xamné you know, you are dependent on people outside, you know, you just need to have a sense of empathy for them. This place is not easy at this moment. Some people lost their job. Some people lost their loved ones. Some people are depressed. Some people are affected mentally. So, you know, we need to link with them and then give them that positive feeling. Dilen ñaanal, you know, dilen encourage rather than dilen blame, dilen has. You know, that's not going to help anyone.
And having said that, thanks for bringing that point, Jala, because statistics has shown that the rate of suicide and suicidal thoughts has increased crazy. And this is nothing I am thinking that is one of the reasons why people are even committing suicide, because they feel like they used to provide for the family a lot. They used to do a lot, and now they are embarrassed to even tell their parents or tell people, I cannot afford it anymore. I've lost my job and things like that. So next thing you know, look, nowadays people can even commit suicide, Jala, and people will not even know this is suicide.
Yeah.
Because they just, you know, brush it under the carpet. People don't talk about it. Or if you have very close family members, they will just, when the kids get to the police and the hospital, they will keep quiet about it. They will never tell you it's suicide. It's a suicide case. They would rather tell you it's COVID just to cover it up. But people are actually committing suicide or are even thinking about it because of the pressure they're getting from home. But I feel to be honest with you, I started changing my mind, Jala, for the past 2 years, thinking that the Gambians in Gambia, they don't think about us the way we think about them. Like I keep saying all the time, I keep saying this, and people keep thinking I'm just being humble by saying I did cleaning job, or I'm a cleaner, or I was once a cleaner. No, these people need to hear it. They dañu dee gis ñu sanse ñu am moto ñu am kër wala but we hustle. The hustle here is very hard, Jala. ñu ngi luñ mun ñu ngi def luñ mun ñun fii soo ñu gisee lii dama cee delluwaat dama yàgg di ko wax soo ñu gisee here we don't only our husbands or our wives or those that are very close to us can tell you ne fii ñun mi fi nekk luñ dee sanse.
Exactly.
Amuñ time pour suñu boppa. ñun the only time we have pour ñun is when we go to Gambia on holiday.
Exactly, Fatmata. Exactly, and that is
Well, and this is the decade. We don't have really want to have time for ourselves because we spend 11 good months here every year, or even more. We spend like 3 years here and not going to Gambia, and we don't even wear one decent pair of pants. We don't even wear one decent. You see, this our high heels, our chicken heels. Our husbands or our boyfriends get to see us stack it on the shoe rack, but never see us wear it.
And
early morning, every day, doing key jobs, running here and there, the clean toilets, the lab marketing, just to feed you back home. But what do? You enjoy it more than we do. You don't even. I have never heard of anybody ko xamne mu ngi dëkk Gambia mu ne mu ngi doomam mu ko la yónnee xaalis mu lekk si ba pare séewal doomam boobu xaalis. You guys don't do that. And now you see yàlla indi nañu rainy days ñëw na. You're going to suffer with us. But we're not even going to suffer, you at home. You know, suffer. If we don't pay our rents for 3 months, Jala, we get kicked out.
Of course.
You get to see Fatma Koka dem deka halitam bite elek mudikal and then muneka haste. Everybody will ask you about it. Do you know what we go through here? You don't even know and you don't want to know. When we try to tell you, you talk the wa. When we try to say, they think that we're just yapping. We are not. It is very difficult here. It has been even difficult a long time ago, before Corona came in. I have said this 5 years ago. I said we live in a society whereby it's like hand to mouth, and Europe neka to utekai maintenance maintain a level. You're not to rise up. So you guys back home, you need to start thinking about all of these things. You are driving us to become mental. You're driving us crazy. You're pushing us to the edge of trying to commit suicide.
So exactly. And pull and push factors. The pull and push factors, the guys need the pull factors is in the Gambia, they are pulling you, and then they're pushing you to certain things. And what then you have to pull, try and pull something that you cannot even pull, that's the issue. So understand what I explain? Why? Because they cannot, because of the pressure back home. They do definitely, you definitely. Hold on. We are all why kuneka yalla amna lum la may worsaki emun. You cannot force God. Anyone lo hamne you are entitled to yalla dena la ko jox. Understand? Why when we push people to the blink, you see certain people here, they go mental. Nga taseya mom, whether you go either in the UK here, either in Sweden, either in Spain, either in Italy, either in America, in Germany, you see people on the street. What happened? Because they have been depressed, or they have been pushed to a corner that they have no option now. That is their way of life. They are solving, moving from X to Y, moving from X to Y, for survival. So on that aspect, at this moment, you can war again. So you say it, either rent and struggle. We need to be one another's friend. We need to, so you say sometimes, we tend to, I know, mind your business, Bahna, why sometimes we have difficulty in doing that, we just, looking at negativity of people, so you say move now from X to Y, you want to paint that negativity. No, we have to help one another. We cannot bring one another down. It is not going to take us anywhere. So that's one aspect, the other issue, Mohammed, is very fundamental. When back home, the Europe is not the Europe it used to be before. From Nekani is hand to mouth. So the little bit, people have, that's what they say, and people need to accept that and have an element of empathy, for people you have the new fee. The other aspect, I was laughing, Fatma, because when you say, and now I think you didn't know this semester syndrome will expose everyone. Huh? So you say, and sometimes, on a psychological, and if you look at social construct, yeah, people new and some construct, you have no lende halate, yeah. Why one of the construct guy mom semester si new the new party, December the new party, January the new party. Well, trust me, they have to. They have to, because it's good for their mental health. They've been here working for 2 years. They have not socialized. Ngente sa dañoo struggle pour dem si ngente jambo. Pour them see, reception jambo, dañoo struggle. So the only way they go to Gambia. That's why they will do anything to keep themselves happy. Yeah. Why? Fatima, I'll revise back. Sometimes it's one thing you were yearning for something. Lo hamne next year December they madem, Gambia, or December with the madem Gambia. Hold on. Why can't you make your own December now? You can do it. And you know why you can do it? Nga sanse sabir kir. You am nga sanse ko sa jikir gisla, nga sanse ko sa jabar gisla. Understand what I explain only. And then trust me, the love will be there. Because I see people blaming one another. Man du mala don uddal man foge uma yow ni nga mel. Understand? And then gor bi jabar bi na luga man tam fogu man yow ni nga mel de yow ben tube bi ni ñaata fan. Understand? You living being fan, and they start blaming one another. Do you understand? So again, it's picking on one another. So I can tell you can bring that love, that that cohesion within the house, that spotlight within the house and vibrant, what the gasolu, and you look nice, you look beautiful as a man, as a guy, and then your children will see that. They will learn from that. Why so jogging a bike or a bopa, jigging with a bike, bopam go be Bible. The children see that, they normalize it. They think that this is life. Understand? So don't be them to school because they, as far as they're concerned, that's what my mom and daddy have been doing. So then what about some health you Why moving back again to coronavirus, it's important we create a community. Yeah, what that mean su fekkee ne am nga xarit, reach out to them.
Yes,
are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to get, because I saw someone made a comment that can I call Saul Job. So I'm trying to fix we're not going to open the lines, but if people want to call it, I think it's good to have one or two people calling.
That's fine. I'm open to that.
My gadgets. So you can't keep talking and let me get myself together.
Yeah, so I'm talking about community. We need to create a sense of community. So one, if there is a Gambian community that, WhatsApp group, and when I talk about WhatsApp group, I'm talking about the positive ones, yeah, not the ones that feed in negativity and conspiracy theories, yeah. And then you reach out to one another. If you are in a Zoom, you can come together as a family, as a group, you have a Zoom chat, and then you can have even a Zoom show, you can have a Zoom music together. Do you understand? And then, you can do all these things. These are all things that you can cope with, and then you can reach out to your loved ones in the Gambia in different ways, but you need to create those social bubbles. It's very important for our mental health. It's very important, for our own, social orientation. So, why the other thing, my expectations, we need to ensure new set some realistic expectations, because from nekane, the expectations we set ourselves is the expectation we have control over. There are certain expectations we have certain why we have no control over it. So let's let go of those ones and create new realistic expectation. This is what I want to do. And then the fundamental part of that is to create a routine. That is our problem. We need to create a routine, suba loy def, and throughout the day, low muna def, to engage yourself, engage your family, engage your children is very fundamental for your children's mental health-being, where also your system mental health-being. So it's very, very, very mental well-being. So it's very fundamental. The other thing, then want to work on solutions. Yeah, rather than try to criticize another, try to reflect. Ñun 2017 lii leen waroon na def, waxoon naa la ñu def lii 2018 lii leen waroon na def lii, waxoon naa la ñu def ko, and you start picking on all those little things. Going back, don't revive the clock back because it's not helpful. Yeah, look for solutions. I'm the problem be pay lila. One thing when I'll just give one example, because I'm the Kumakodowa who was struggling with their credit card. Yeah, because then you'll credit and then they're struggling to pay, and then their credit card bill is increasing. Why? You know, you need to shop around. There's what is called balance transfer. Yeah, balance transfer. Moine. So if you am credit with bank X, yeah, you la charge interest bu bari. Yeah, demal si benen bank bo xamne ñu la bëgg jox credit demal nga ufu credit bo xamne is interest free for 9 months or 10 months or 12 months, and then you ask for balance transfer. So the guys ne so ko transfer, what that does moine hina you pay £10 or £9 or £15, it depends on your credit. Nga transfer ko your new account. So ko transfer it to that new account. Nga gis ne you don't pay interest for another 9 months or another 12 months. So all those things are tips that, you know, we can help one another and find. And let's talk to our landlords. If you are not in a mortgage, own low house, and then you're renting, speak up to your landlord, approach your landlord to have what is called, you know, payment holiday. You know, these are some of the things, you know, we need to work on and try and code. Why the other thing when
let me read this comment. It says, I'm going to skip my name. I think we need to we need documentation of our lives in Europe for real. I think this documentary will educate back home, which is true. You know, being a cleaner, we need to, you know, show that we them silly gay kai be hanga tay mata on videos new video ma them the cleaning at you play for life. Lolo bana si jala pour nit ñi mëna understand that this is actually what is happening here. But for ñu gis suñu liggéey kay ñu ñu dé treated sometimes. You know, saying the slavery jena. Some of us are still working like under the terms of being slaved, like finde liggéey. Then you dey treat like I cannot even tell you. Hanga lolo ye bana si. So that comment lolo tam lu bala and it's true. Saul Job said we're giving them the wrong impression. We're giving people the wrong impression. We do that. Look at me, Tay.
Well, you're naturally beautiful, and no one can take that from you. So that's just a comment. So going back to the issue about the impression back in the Gambia, and also I think that is a key point. Just I remember, you know, I went to Gambia, and then like. I was sitting down, and then this person came, Mangi Joge Fi, Lila Nekadi Dev, Mangi Joge, and they were talking about themselves in a different way. And then I'm thinking, you're creating a false hope here because you're giving an impression that doesn't exist. So when this person asked me, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from the Gambia. No, you're for Joge in terms of the Western world. I'm from Mangi Joge Angleterre. Okay, you're Angleterre. And then the person started to redact some of the things that he or she has said at that time. So, you know, those are the impression we give people. Everything is all right. Everything is not all right. Some people, trust me, walk hand to mouth. Some people don't have a sleep from one job to another. They're just running and running and running the whole time. They have no time for themselves because the pressure back home. So Lola, why, you know, you're right. The false impression, we go there and give, you know what, man amnali, man amnalale, and all other things, it doesn't help. One, you don't help people back home because those people will think, okay, there is heaven here. And then also, you are not helping yourself because, you know, at the one point, the torchlight will turn to you. If they put the torchlight on you, yeah, unfortunately, they will see something totally different. So it's good to be real, you know. It's not good to be fake, even though we got a lot of fake news there. It saddened me and it touched my heart when I see people back home giving a false impression of themselves because it doesn't help anyone. What you're doing in essence, you're making yourself a fool in front of everyone. So we need to take responsibility and take ownership and say it as it is and behave the way it is real. You know, it's very important. Of course, because we all have our attitude, our behaviors, and our social orientation and how we brought up. That is fine. You know, people can party, people can do things. That's fine. But don't go and give an impression that you know, you can do X, Y, Z. It doesn't happen because right now the coronavirus have exposed many people. You know, and it exposed them either in the right direction or in the wrong direction. So we all need to hold ourselves accountable. I say to people, this is the time for us to hold breath and reflect. You know, let's reflect and then try and take a new route, you know, towards our progress and also promote progressive people. It's also important, Fatma. For example, yesterday I was watching your program. the young man who published a books. These are the people we need to celebrate in our society. We need to celebrate success together. No one wants to celebrate failure, because what success does is we celebrate our own. Then what we do is we're busting their morals, and people can think that the can-do attitude can be there. So lola and it's very fundamental. The other issue luma bugona la moy tuti moy ne emotions. This is the time all our emotions have been tested, and this is the time we need to reflect. New reflection bopa mangi mer naka lay mere man suma mere naka lay def suma jefin numo mel li naka la mel, and allow that communication. Listen to your wife, listen to your daughter, listen to your son, listen to yourself. Leg is important. We do that. Listen to ourselves. The other thing, moine taking care of those emotions in a very positive way, without being distracted in other things. And what that does is that, you get in touch with your emotions. Ngai watan aksa emotions, yeah, and then nga accept ne man ni la mel, suma mere ndekete ni la mel, and how that impact on other people. But that can only happen when people communicate. You have to learn to communicate. You have to learn to listen. And it's very important that we work together as a Gambian community, as an African society, and a world to look after one another. Let's share experiences. For example, I got a friend who said to me, Jala, I got a neighbor. I said, what? He said, you know what? My neighbor cannot cook. He's not a good cook. So what we agreed, I said, what's your agreement? He said, because I'm not good at homeschooling, so my son and my daughter will join my neighbor, because my neighbor is a teacher. Yeah. So they will do Zoom homeschooling, but then I will do the cooking. And then if I do the cooking, I share it with my neighbor. So you can see how people are so creative, and these people don't even know one another. They don't come from the same background, the same country, but they become so creative, So we complement one another. And the other thing, how do we make ourselves busy? Yeah. For example,
can I just steal this moment and just put something in that Soldier couldn't delete the number to call. Lines are open now. You can call us. We'll take few calls. You can call us on 00220 235 6084 00220 235 6084. Call us on that platform, and the lines are open. Conversation bi ñepp ko wara bokk. Xëy na am na lu nga xam ne sax man maa jàlla laaluñ ko, su ko defee yéen soo leen dugasee si line bi di ngeen mën a wax ci loolu tamit nañ ci kontaan lool. Di nuyu nag this occasion di nuyu képp ku nga xam ne yaa ngi seetaan. Ma gis suma daalin suma baby long time ago gisuma ko kujee ma ngi laa nuyu bu baax. Di nuyu waa Crawley, xaw ma nag Crawley ngeen dëkk ba léegi, waaye ma ngi laa nuyu den Njaayeen family ndaw Njaay bi maa ngi ko nuyu. Kooku suma baby kujee la maa ngi ko gis léegi mu ngi binda and li binda ni dalal na xel, parce que xam naa ne yaa ngi am ay doom. Su fekkee li nga bindal routine boobu ngay follow, macha allah maa ngi lay ñaanal. Jala, yes, continue. Dama doon bëgg a waree rek ne lines tam ibina. So if people want to
that's fine. Comme lu ma doon wax mooy ne the other thing mooy ne tam people coping mechanism nu ñoo copy dafa ute. So doo wax ne because diw nii laa copy man noonu laa war a copy. Yeah, this is not about copying. Yeah, it's about what works for you. So ñeneen ñi, for example, anga ñeneen suñ mere dañoo nando, ñeneen suñ mere dañoo dem doxantu, ñeneen suñ mere dañ bëgg a waxtaan ak kenn. So loolu moo tax tam difficulty bi ni ñu yëpp we will react to it differently. So da nga war a xalaat ne what works for you. Yeah, waaye lu ma war a wax tam mooy ne xale yi, so it's important that we look after the kids at this moment. And when I say we look after the kids, it's not about feeding them. Yeah, it's mentally. Yeah, their routine, because time boobu noonu mun ngaa dem sa xale bi when ngeen na dem si park bi, xale yi dañoo demante play date, xale yi dañoo play si school si, they will do a lot of things together, waaye fu mu nekk nii mënuñ koo def. Yeah, so on that base you have to be creative si kër yi, ngay def sport game, either you will use the YouTube or you will use other channels to do that, or you create a forum boo xam ne sa xale yi mun nañoo waxtaan ak seen cousin bi through Zoom, through WhatsApp and stuff like that. Ñu waxtaan ak ñoom ñuy la, ñu ree di play game and all other things, and they can even be jumping, be dancing,
Jala, Maduga Fobu, having said all that, play games, we have to be very careful with that as well, because I have seen kids that are, becoming, people are calling me about this. I even have an example at home. My daughter, she's playing games 24/7 now she's using the corona as an excuse. So we have to have boundaries. We have to have like we have to be very strict, or we have to limit ourselves. So with my daughter, her being 19, it's like you cannot tell her. I will not tell her today. All right, deactivate, because when I told her off, she was like, all right, mommy, you know what? Let me just delete this app, and then I'm like, no, you don't need to delete the app. You want to discipline some papa.
Yeah.
But I know typical Gambian mothers will be like, delete cocaine, delete so nice game. No, it's not about that. You cannot tell that child to delete the app.
Because you feeding into the child's emotions. So you are feeding into their emotions.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say there is, talk about mom, explain that you don't need to delete the app. But what you need to do is discipline and sababa. Because so discipline is sababa from Lee. You know, I'm not over here. Mom said nothing. Oh my God, kill money make no sense. Because man, the way I dealt with it was like, look, Jatu, look, you don't need to delete that app. What you need to do is limit al sababa, train al sababa. All right, I'm going to use this app every weekend. Or if during the week, I'm going to use it 1 hour only. And the rest of the time, I know you haven't got much to do now because of the corona. But go take a walk, do something. But you cannot sit there, lying down in bed on that app playing these games. So let's not encourage our kids to play games too much because
exactly. Yeah.
I'm not having a habit but as Gambians. Find a way to shut someone up.
Yes. Yes.
Most of the time, this Jabaji, just to shut him up. Just to shut, but that problem will never be solved, and that problem will always be there. Now let's transfer that to our kids. So in time we play the same game with them. What we do is, instead of you talk, wax ñom or lead it, did it. So dañ leena walu nga xamne megut sen sax ñu ñu ngi la nax nonu fekk ñu ngay yaxale suñ doom.
Is important. You talk if something very important here, and to me that is even a topic of its own. I think we will come back one day to look at that.
Just to just to keep my kids sweet and wouldn't want them to come here and disturb me. I'm giving an example. I will give them an iPad to go and play a game. I will give them Coke when they don't normally drink Coke. I will give them the stuff that they don't normally have. And you know what's going to happen? The iPad will use you. Every time they see me live, they will come looking at me. So I have to give them that Coke. But they will come looking at me. So I will take the laptop and give it to them. If I tell you, you won't believe me, Jella. Both laptops are here sitting there with me. Nobody's using it. You know why? I have to be strict with it. Whether I'm live or I'm not live, there's time for laptop, there's time for the TV, there's time for your books, there's time for this, there's time for that. Whether I'm live or not, you have to discipline these kids. Once they get to that routine, you don't need to discipline them. They will know exactly, okay, so I like them. Where laptop. I'm gonna say no. I could even turn mute and say no. I'm gonna laptop. But as Gambians, we will give it to them just to shut them up, or to keep ourselves busy with our boyfriends, keep ourselves busy with the husband on the phone, or even do bandy camp, do those things.
And Fatima, I think you just touched something very fundamental here. Routines and boundaries, you know? And then I think as Gambians is what we should work on. Routines and boundaries. We cannot allow kids to be all over the place, They just get confused in the house. And the coronavirus did not help, in that aspect. So it just makes the situation worse. So this is the time we need to use to create routines for our kids. But also those routines come with boundaries. Munga dimbale sa dombi muy def lili walu neka da nga wara am dafa wara am boundaries you cannot cross that and monitoring the social media, because some people they am by sa halal munsi whatever he or she is doing, why you not monitoring sulumo satan kumo watanal what they're doing and whatsoever. And we know that even grooming is happening, a lot of things are happening. So then in any bad situation, worse people come out of it. Some people come to exploit it. So we need to ensure that we monitor that, the internet use, the social media use, the gadget use, because all these, bad people are always around there waiting for that window. They're just watching at the window and look at how they can exploit that. So one aspect. While coming back, from Nekani, we need to use this period to also start talking to our kids, rather than shutting them down. Hey, you nopil, demal fale li. And then it come back to what is called haste, because what happened is, because when you're angry, because, and I don't know whether you know that sometimes, I'm sorry to say this, yeah, as a lot of Gambians, because Dunde Watan, Aksun Hale, we did not chat, we don't know they are failing, we don't create that, but we create shutting them down. You nopil, demal fale, demal CBT, we just need to shut them down. Listen to what your child is saying. Let's create that dialogue, because Boromam, I'm a problem, then I knew you. Why su ame problem yang ko shut down, def ko bottle up, because if I want Monday ki mu ma shut down, yeah, anytime suma wuge wa mu ma shut down, am na problem here, why suma deme legi heng na mu reale ma bena yon bala lol haral ma bottle ko. It's not good for their mental health, it's not good for their social skills, so we need to help them. And then I just know sometimes, unfortunately to say, because we don't create dialogue, dunde watan, a Gambian cannot go long to explain themselves, even if they are arguing, so because balamo was lumo wasa saganala, because they cannot express themselves. Do you understand? So the only way for them to bring you down is to insult you. Do you understand? Rather than watan, even so relan for tutis, you didn't understand one another. Instead of having a positive dialogue to see how you come to an agreement, yeah, because they are not, they don't have the social skills, and the confidence to do that, they will just insult you.
Well, a very good point, Jala. A very good point. You have the inner reflection, just my brain. You know how we Gambians keep saying politics is dividing us. Now you say that, great point. Politics is not dividing us. It's because we don't know how to communicate, how to dialogue, how to, accept people's opinions. And that's why we feel politics is dividing us. Because we feel that if I don't want to hear what you have to say about your party, let me insult your mother. Let me insult you. Let me make a point about you. So that way I will shut you down to the extent that you will never come back and talk about this party. So it takes being strong, or that willpower that you have, to actually, not associate yourself with the likes of people that will insult you due to the living of politics, thinking saga be like same communication level. No. If you meet someone like that, to change that guy's mindset or that woman's mindset is easy. Let them stay on the insult lane, but you keep coming with your point, putting a point across without insulting. To be honest, all times these people will stop insulting. Then they will start, engaging with you in a very, very, very diplomatic manner. If we try
exactly, yeah, and then we just got to be role models, because the anger, the insult doesn't help, doesn't solve a problem. Yeah. So for kids, we need to be role model for them. Let's create those routines. Let's engage them. Let's chat to them. Let's ask them the story. Sometimes I ask my son, tell me, what does coronavirus mean for you? Do you understand? What does it mean for you? What is that you think? Yeah. The coronavirus have stopped you doing, and then what is that, you're not happy about coronavirus, and then I will listen to him, and then I'll then say to him, okay, tell me, what do you think you can do, right now to deal with this, because we need to do something.
Do that when you go to Gambia on holiday in front of other people. Them like this ought to be, you see, our people, the way we think, it's crazy, but what you're doing is amazing. You need to talk to your kids. If you don't, these kids,
exactly.
And who are the people that they are talking to? Complete
Exactly.
They live in a crazy world. Our kids are being raised by the internet. Our kids are being raised by their own friends, because their friends are telling them what is good and what's not too good. So for you to lose that path, it's by not talking to your kids. Right now, you people are thinking that some of you people, not all, some of you people are thinking that violence every month anyway corona. You are going to thank us one day, because I'm sure out of the whole hour that we've been sitting here, there is one or two things that Jala has said that would be of importance to you or your family. am na xëy man tam lu ma fee wax fii xëy na am na one thing loo xam ne mën nga see jëlee dara. So let's be very mindful and be very careful. Coronavirus is real. It's affecting us in and out of homes.
Yeah.
So if we don't, you know, open our eyes and accept reality and say that, you know what, we should stop living in denial. Wallahi, coronavirus is going to be with us for the rest of our lives. So let's just be careful. Jala, we have 15 minutes to go. Come, Leggy, wrap up things because we have only 15 minutes to go because we're supposed to stay here for 1.5 hours and we're almost there. So what else do you want us to add to this before we go?
Well, to me, I'll go back to family because, you know, that's the thing. I am someone, you know, for example, you know, the issue around domestic violence in the household is escalating, depression is escalating, things around, you know, mental health, you know, is there people being, you know, lonely, you know, isolations, you know, this is affecting people. Mansumali gave it involved a lot of court work, but I can tell you, in the last 12 months, you know, time Bumadem court is more than, you know, for the whole 2 years of Bumadem court. So there are a lot of things that are happening in the families in terms of where children are affected. So it's when you remind people, you know, we're in difficult times. These are trying times for all of us, and it's unprecedented, you know. So mangenyan kuneka, you know, I know ne holy tanga, but let's create a community. Let's create a peaceful coexistence in Digante. Let's share and care for one another. You know, let's create a culture of sharing, caring, and sharing. Let's have empathy for one another. You know, let's communicate. Let's listen to one another. You know, violence have no place in our society. And then, you know, shouting, screaming, insulting, and bringing one another down. It doesn't have any place in our society. You know, we need to create a social coexistence, social cohesion in a peaceful manner. The other thing, family time is very important. You know, this is the opportunity we have to create family times. I know that some of us are working from home. You know, 90% of the time I'm working from home. While if you're working from home, regardless of the demand, try and create time for your family. Create those breaks where you can do something for your family. You know, so watch your ligay. If it is you meant to close 5 o'clock, watch at 5 o'clock. Don't be glued yourself to the computer. Create that time to your family. So if you can them see car park, go for a walk, you know, at the park as a family, you know, because there are those bubbles are accepted from Nekani. The restrictions are not that bad, you know, in that area, sorry. So, or you can play games in the park, you know, as a family, do something. And this is the time also jëkkër ak jabar ngeen toog ngeen waxtaan, you know, ñaan naa leen toog leen ngeen waxtaan. It's so sweet, you know, trust me. You know, when you start chatting as a husband and a wife, you know, in terms of what you should do, how do you cope and whatsoever, it creates that positive energy. And then seen xale yi seen doom yi da leen nekk di ñee, understand nga si kaw lu ngeen def noonu, and they become so happy, and then you see them hugging you, you know. I think those things are very, very fundamental in our society. And as a Gambia, these are our social fabric, you know. Our social fabric in the Gambia, we need to be caring and sharing for one another. And then we need to use this Corona time to come together as a community, as a Gambian community, to reach out to one another. So déglu sa xarit sa mbokk call ko nga seet ko naka la def, you know, bul téye sa bopp ñaan naa leen fu mu nekk nii I can tell you fu mu nekk nii tongo amul anywhere ñaan naa leen nan pus tongo loolu amatul léegi yeah. You know, dema téye suma boppa dema gis suma boppa loolu amul léegi nii ñaan naa leen. We need to put all those things aside, you know. We just need to look at how can we come together and help one another, you know. If you save me, I will save you. You know, that's the way we need to work out, you know, and then try to be creative, you know. Gambian sometimes we just want people to push the buttons for us. No, let's try and create, you know, push the button for ourselves. I'm not Kuwafi, you know, that stuck with me. And it's about hobbies, yeah. And then, you know, for example, you know, if you cannot cook, I will encourage you to watch Fatmata, follow Fatmata. And hopefully, you know, before the end of the coronavirus lockdown, you'll be able to cook one meal, you know, and then you'll be master in that meal, you know, and that's the aspect. Or, you know, work something that you were not able to do to. If you are a baker, try and bake, you know. So if you can own buru, you know. And then if you know toga benachin, you can learn to toga benachin because fumnekani, unfortunately, and it's sad to say it, I'm not laughing. I think I'm just giggling because toga. This is the coronavirus exposed them. Yeah, rot. Coronavirus exposed na len. Understand? So tam dem di tambambalu di def coronavirus exposed a lot of people. Yeah. So let's bring that negative energy back home. You know, then you help New Year. Understand? Let's create fun. Let's be happy. You know, we cannot be, you know, sorry for ourselves. We cannot be sorry for ourselves. You know, why? You know,
here's that comment. It was from Hadija Tukinte. She's my boss. She's the boss of Elitemedia anyway. The problem is Gambians don't have hobbies. Momo, we don't need a hobby. It was from her. And Saul Joe. Check your messenger because this time I get try to call binanga number. Send us a messenger be. Mangla try to call for Munumala call. So if you can call us, we will give you 2 minutes. If you could, we have 8 minutes to go. If you can call us through messenger, so the Nigels are called me through messenger. So call me from messenger. But Jala, let's talk about the vaccine. I'm not an expert. I don't know. You're not an expert too, but I'm sure we have. You know, we have our take on it. The vaccine. A lot of people are scared of this vaccine, Jala. Vaccine, and I see there's a huge debate. I am just watching from the fence, from the window. People are saying, all right, it is good. I saw some Gambians actually took the vaccine. You go live Facebook, some are saying it is not give it a year. It will affect them. People are very scared of this vaccine. What is your take on that? And again, man mom suma wali boba man duma jël vaccine bi Jala ba yow nga jël ana sa jël
well, okay, they can have fun with that. Of course, of course.
Why you gonna hold the vaccine? The bem gis Macky Sall ñoo taxaw ci télé bi jël vaccine bi man tam jël vaccine bi Adama Barrow ñëw taxaw ma may ko 3 weeks Adama Barrow ba mel ci vaccine bi ma doga jël vaccine.
Yeah, sometimes in this several others, so it's nice to really throw those, you know, laughing moments because right now we have no time to be angry. We have no time. We need these moments, you know, to create jokes and laugh. You know, at least we can lift one another. It's very important. Well, vaccine become no here. We are not experts in this, but we just sharing a view. And then, and people, if they want to say more know about it, they need to contact their doctors, GP, or physician in America, what they call it. Yeah. Why? You know, and there's a lot of narratives, you know, out there, conspiracy theory. Or ki jël na vaccine bi keroog ki jël na ko ki li dal na ko or li dal na la and whatsoever. Trust me, yeah, this is about saving life. You know, I know there's a lot of fake news out there. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy. There are even, you know, people calling themselves doctors.
Call from Saul Joe. Hi, Saul. Hi, Mr. Joe. You're fine, thank you. Jala, can you mute your because I'm getting a little, you know. All right, Mr. Job, hi, welcome to Elitemedia.
Well, I've been watching. I really enjoy your shows every time I can catch them. And then they want you on to it. I mean, you nailed it. I'm not being told. We always say that when I was at the Red Cross, disaster brings the best out of us, and then disaster to development. So we have to be able to look at the bright side. And you have virtual communities too are very, very important. Understand? And then how they intervene outdoor, and then they have tennis, and you know, just to keep the kids going. And I also applaud the fact that they were very indoor games, computer games, and all that. I make sure that they have there's a time limit to that. Or so they will tell that they go abuse, they doesn't affect you know. So we just gotta do that. On the other end, it's about time we journal in your because I'm going to guy tell me one of your I was watching the show in Gambia this morning, what the opportunities that are available to them that they don't want to tap on. Everybody wants to come to Europe. Everybody wants to come overseas. And we feel can have the guy there when you know sabar support ticket or wala. Then they are getting us a good ticket. I'm going to utilize somebody in the car. So that's just a few things I want to share with you. I just want to kind of go along with what you guys are saying. It makes a lot of sense, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the comments that you have been writing. Call being a quality tamit lolu gën nañu dolel dafa melni ne kon li ñoo wax fi tay amna solo bu baax jala comme nit ñaa ngi call te ñu ngi comment and a lot of people are writing comments that what we're doing is very enlightening and it's educating people. So it's all down to Jala. Mom ñëwoon na fi te ñëwaat na te man xam naa ne dina ñëwaat soo leen ko waxee mu ñëwaat Mr Diop waxal Jala mu ñëwaat de lii dañ ko soxla de update bi
moom jàmbaar la moom maa ngi ko dund moom kii moom téere la buy ay ma ne ku am xam-xam la
ndeysaan
te li moo am na doole lool ñu ko indiwaatee moo odu gaay encore
jërëjëf Mr Diop, thank you very much. We really appreciate you. You get nuyu sa family bi and we hope that you are keeping safe as well. Do what the WHO is asking us to do. Stay safe. Don't forget the sanitizers, mask. Social distancing is important. So I hope that you follow you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Jala.
Yes.
That was Mr. Job Nesan. He's been trying to. That's why Mantama make an extra effort to make sure that he joined. Because Mungi been there, Mungi buga call, Munta call. Why? Jerejef Jala si ñëw bi gis nga ñëw bi amna solo lool parce que nit ñi recognize nañ ko. People are writing it, and we really appreciate it. Just like we said, you'll be having me and Jala coming here once in a while when time allows us. Now that with the coronavirus, I'm 100% sure Jala will give us like a month, every month, once or twice if he can. With this corona, te du moom moo ne corona bi nañ def luñ bugga léegi ñun tamit.
Yeah, we're going to thank Mr. Joe. I think he made very good comments and very good points. And then we together in these, we just all need to reflect on them and also take it. And yes, Mane also made a very important comment in terms of how things are happening and all people who've been following us. This is a forum whereby, and then, I think Fatmata, you have the credit for this. Because some people, if in terms of the interview and stuff like that, but you create what is called a chat, and then I like it this way. It's very informal. You're able to express yourself, and then we also say our views, and then it's thought provoking, and I think that is what is important. So, this can hammer everything. It's just little knowledge we have in terms of our experience and what we see. And then and it's the same thing. Kuje have been following us, and a lot of people and the rest of the people have been following us. But again, their comments are very powerful. They're powerful, and we need to also learn from what they say. So when programs like this happen, it's not about who knows it, is about sharing. And then man te janga nasi lubari in a lot of the comments, and I have no doubt Fatima, you also learn a lot of things.
Yeah,
but what we want to tell people is to be creative, look at things that they can do with their families, what they can do at home to cope with this. I don't want to be in this situation. As I said, I have seen people who have lost their loved ones. At this moment, I cannot visit them. And these are people who are close to me, in one way or the other. I cannot visit them, and they lost their loved ones, But all I need to do is to spend time on the Zoom, talking to them and reach out to them on the phone and stuff like that. And it's the same thing. Our Gambian people back home, so they would send it. Even if you am to direct, please nyana call ko, nga check silum neka, because you unfortunately you may not talk to them again. Trust me, you may not talk to them again, because you onga phone it due because coronavirus lumde def money. Today you are all right, next minute, down as a cow, the minute you la target, it's sad. That's the reality. It's not scaremongering people. Why? We need to face it. As I said earlier, the way it should be and the way it is different. We need to accept. So I'll come back to the same words I was saying. We need to share, we need to care, We need to empathize with one another. We need to show love. We need to show unity. We need to ensure that we are a community. We need to reach out to one another. We need to love and spread the word of peace, peaceful coexistence, and be good role models. Sagante, haste, nan ko pan, Mary, blamantini, nan ko sani fale, nyanalin, nan solution kiri, melni kuy dem hew. Ñu solo, gori solo, jigeni solo, and then that love and bonding can be there in the household, you know.
Dina graw de ñu war la gis nga door sa ñetti abdu rek tok kër. Dina nga door sa ñetti abdu rek naan ni. Mu la yet.
Farmata, you know what you do sometimes, Lumada, you know, they got them rahas boli, you know. Kidi rahas boli, kenindi toga, linyo toga te, the mandema bake te, mandema defli, dema jagar keki. Kuneka, we share the responsibility in the house. Can my pass it, man my pass it, man my defli. And that bonding will be there. Jigen will appreciate the God will appreciate, because from nekani, some of us as men, being at home, I think we appreciate our women more because we know the responsibility, because unfortunately, is our social orientation and our social upbringing.
Having said that, we have to encourage guys to stop telling these kids parce que góor yi bari ñu ngi toog si kër bi léegi. Instead, ñu ngi appreciate jigéen ñi de, but at the same time, so xale yi dawee ñëw si ñoom pour ñu help them with something.
Exactly.
We need to stop doing that, guys.
Thank you so much, Fatmata. Yeah.
Wow. Wala nga jékki-jékki. Fatmata! And what were you doing? Nothing. And when Fatmata comes to check what the hell is doing, remote control wife, because parents can one
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's important, Fatmata. So for we, you know, Gambia then am this social upbringing when gorbi neku di toga so la ci ñata Gambian gor ñoo mëna toga ñata Gambian gor ñoo mëna passé ñata Gambian gor ñoo mëna def li because yep dañ ko bayé jigéni. So let's use this opportunity, yeah, because you know
xam nga ne duma la bayé nga defé ko jala yow mën nga toga.
You know, I'm very good at doing grill, you know. Mandamade grill torosa. I'm so good at that, yeah. And then I'll also tell you. I can tell you, I can also cook. There's, you know, muna cook shepherd pie, muna, you know, dal nen, muna, you know, I muna jagar chakri, muna jagar. I can do certain things, but you know, muna big. Well, Mange Jim, from Nekani Luma de Def Mene Fatmata, I'm following your kitchen, yeah? I'm following your kitchen. So I'm saying, take the Fatmata Lila Def. Okay, Harama said, the Made follow another recipe, mustard lily. Sometimes it will go wrong. That is fine, you know? That is fine. But, you know, it's good that, you know, I try Mange Jim. So Luma of Mene, Suma Moromi Gori, Nan Jim. Because from Nekani, the Nagis Jigen be more food. Jigen bi moy passé, jigen bi moy toga, jigen bi moy sanga xalé, jigen bi moy solal xalé, xalé bi tulime, su bugé leka, su bugé nan, su bugé all those things jigeni, come on, this all have changed, yeah?
You know,
this is about
if you want your wife or say jigen to sit beautifully next to you, comme ninga wa nga do sa ñetti abdu momi mu doon Africa lam difin, help them at home. The more you help them, it gives them like being appreciated.
Yes.
If you show us appreciation, and appreciation is, oh my God, hi, Yancy one, young
exactly.
The fact that I'm going to say to be pare ko decorate ko si table bi def ko bem nice. Duma ko pare melane mungsi kuka bi wala lolu. Dama pare sa tek ko si table bi defal bem nice. Sa go be set ñu tok. Appreciate us. When you appreciate us, we give you more.
Exactly.
So loolu tamit war ngeen see bàyyi xel jëla jërëjëf si li nga doon wax yëpp ma ñëw rek dugaat si fi nga doon wax rek doole laat sa wax bi parce que time bi sax dooma nañ ko léegi 5 minutes yaa ngi explain ne soo géejee dégg nit ki tam day koy call kay the lack of ñàkk a call nit ki especially when you're in Gambia lii moo waral nit ki ñëw seet si la ba indiwaale la corona call ko nga wax sa wér bi yaram naka nga def maa ngi fi géej naa laa gis nama naa la nii waaye fan yi naa la seet si sas ko sas ko ne ko naa la seet ndax mu toog kiram ku tal Jala ko naa la seet Jala toog kiram maa ne bii bu bees la hello Jala maa noo def gëj naa laa dégg maa ngi fi dama doon seet rek xool la ne maa ngi bëgg a ñëw sa kër ëllëg su ëllëg xoolaat Jala ne ko dinaa fa ñëw gannaaw ëllëg day def loolu dafa Jala toog kiram dee naa xool nit ñi so ma doole leen xool bi maa ngi koy caaxaane waaye gannaaw loolu sax kool leen nit ki parce que tey yaa ngi ñàkk a kool nit ëllëg ñu xëy rek ñu ne kooku dee na dafa daw yaram lool c'est with coronavirus bi nit a ngee dee te doo ko mën a gis comme ni ko Jala waxee doo ko mën a dégga doo mën a xam dara moom bu fekkee nag yaa ngi sa biir néegi sëy nga la ñu ngi leen ay ñaan dëgg la dañ dee mën a am suñ differences as husband and wives but at the same time try leen ngeen ay solve differences yi don't go to bed with your problems because you don't know if your partner is going to wake up the next day. So try and make up. What I'm telling you now, maybe you will thank me for it one day. Li na wax ni tay lu am solo la parce que tay ya ngeen jotté ak sa partner ele nga ew ñu ne yow gañu nga wala mom gañu na fekk ya ngi xalaat bu su paré nga dit ko dit bu reey lolu tam Jala yobante moy akhala jarabul smile yobante biñ ma yobante ni fokk ma wax ko fi
okay
ma seen benn message pour ma wax ko ma tontu ko laaj ko question ci ko message am bi mu answer ko xam ne kii ku confident la peut ku bëgg ko message am bi come across la te yóbbante akala mu ne Fatmata, do you know this coronavirus the home prostitution will be more ma laaj ko what do you mean mu ne home prostitution will increase ma ne ko what do you mean by home prostitution will increase because we wouldn't understand. So he bindal ma something. All right, pour ma break ko down, mu ne di nga gis ne ñi góor jigéen ñi nga xam ne dañ bari woon ay far. Léegi mu ma fekk seen far yi, so they will call them to come home and they will give them appointments like you're giving someone an appointment at work. Earlier on, man, don't smile. Smile. Appointment. It's making sense to me now. At first, when I read it, I thought it was a joke, but now it's making sense. Appointment. So different goal they are not only getting coronavirus, but they might be infected with sexual transmitted diseases as well. And this will add up to the coronavirus that they can bring into their homes. So you see, people are thinking that just because they cannot go out there to see their barans, this is me telling you now, different fari, they can bring that at home. For those of you who have kids, be very careful, especially if you have a girl child and you're doing that. What are you teaching your child? What are you teaching your child? So you have to be very careful. So thank you for this guy who sent me that, who doesn't want me to mention his name. Thank you very much for that. How man sa jangabe am ay mbaran da nga mer rek ñew sanil mako pour ma wax ko yoy man wona ko yoy la ko may la tagato su ko defé
yeah, thank you so much, Fatmata. That is one of the unhelpful coping mechanisms, because of course, coronavirus is invisible. Can do what so it's difficult. So Lulie buys a hell, and sometimes some people feel we can be creative around that in terms of what we do, and I call that negative creativity. Understand that? Is a safari or boy or whatever you call them. This pandemic is around. There are people who are super spreaders, but also we all need to be positive role model to our kids. So it's very important. No desperation should push you to certain things. Please, nyananity, you have to reach out to other people. Yeah. Fatmata, I want to take this opportunity. Jerejef Sanjarama Wachana. You have been so, how do I call it, very reflective. And also you're doing a very, very good job, in terms of enlightening people in different areas. And I think this is positive. And as Gambians, we need to promote this, we need to be proud of ourselves. No one will sell us. We need to sell ourselves, And then you are a very good role model to a lot of girls out there who are watching you day in, day out, what you do in the Gambia, how you reach out to other people, and the topics of discussion. Because what you do is you're trying to reach the unreached, but also touching the untouched. There are certain topics that you talk about sometimes. People think that they are taboos. They are not taboos. It is good time and high time at this moment as Gambians. You accept we need to open up and, speak up and speak out is very important, and then bring on those things that are affecting people in silence and bring them to the forefront. And then I have seen you doing that, and then I just want to encourage you, and then persuade you, and then ask you to do that. And I think someone said something here is very important. What I call what the person called a documentary, for how Gambians live in Europe. That is important. My journey to Europe and how people live in Europe. And so that sometimes it's good to share those documentaries with people back home to understand that ni sula may £1 sa war nga ko wax ni jërëjëf si £1 bi bul de wax ne man tuuti loolu nga ma wax because you don't know how they get the money. Someone can come and give you £1,000. Alhamdulillah, bahna is okay. Someone can give you £100. Kula jox £100, make them equal at £1,000 because nunko ame defo ute. Everyone more ham nakala ame halisam. So I just want to tell people that let's be proud of ourselves, let's get the best of what we got, and let's create fun, let's be peaceful, let's be happy, let's look after one another. Jangal toga man elik dama farma kan toga benachi nga wa man ma follow lulu because ma am naka ngay togi benachi and stuff like that because maybe that's it.
Let me tell you though, we're going, me and my niece in UK, we're going to try this program live. We're going to do a cook-off program where we will have ingredients, and then I will teach her what to do live, and people will watch it. You never know, you can be a guest in my kitchen, so we're going to do that. We can do that. I'll tell you to buy the stuff, do the stuff, and then come here. We do the end part of the cooking. Hey, Jala, get this book. They are so I remember being Jim Pulaka all of Tay Sima Dege dina ma ray ma de ki ci tuda gas sila ni lay waram dega ko xamna mu ma sétal ak domam bi ndeysa suma ben anti dafa mo toga ben ci torop gas mo rek dawé fi la ñëw rek ko ne ya da no ko ne kañ nga toga jën ceeb man dama ragal nga toga jën ceeb
man am naa benn waaye su ma ko waxee rek borom dina ma rëy.
show bi maa ngi leen di xool bu góor boobu noonu ndeysaan di mag di gàtt ak ndeysaan di nuyu ci baram Mariama si soxo banna di nuyu ndey suma limee jum bëgguma leen di yàlla xeebte doole macha allah di leen di nuyu suma famille yëpp nag wax dëgg fa nekk yàlla Mouhamadou Koka Maymuna Koka Ismaila Koka Arona Koka Jibril Koka Madina Koka ñëpp a ngi si biir Baba Sila Mahamadou Sila show tok limna gaay nak tay go on what is about.
That's it. So in any impossibility there is possibility. Don't say I cannot do this man munuma ko. Let's try to be creative, learn, talk to other people that nak ngay def tay. So I want to thank everyone, all those people have been watching, all those people who have been throwing their comments. I want to say we appreciate you, we love you, you are with us, we are in our thoughts, let's be creative. This program is lovely. I enjoy to be your company, and I think Fatu is doing a good job. We're all proud of her, and then I want us to keep on watching her channels, and promote her, and then that's what we got. We got the Gambia, let's promote it, and people are doing it, let's do it. Before Fatu is the next opera. So let's go. We get in there. We get in there gradually. Never say never. In any impossibility, there is possibility, and that's the mentality I have been given from day one. And that's the I don't want to hear that. I want to give it a try. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. So as far as I'm concerned, you will surprise yourself, Fatma, and that day will come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gani, you say thank for nañ to the end of the show today. Gis ngeen man mak suma chaamé bobu Jalanmang ñëw na fi tay. Gis ngeen fan lañ folé tay fan lañ génné ñu wax ci coronavirus bi nga xamné ñun ñëpp a koy dunda. Wax dëgg fa neex Yàlla ni wax rek ba tay moytu leen rek toppale li nga xamné mom la WHO wala loi de ka seen di ka wax ne social distancing is very important. Gis nañ leen xew du ñàkk nag biir Gambia parti du ñàkk biir Gambia ba pare gis nañ dëj du ñàkk li ma ci gën a naxari mooy borom xew yi seen boppa ñoom dañoo indi masque indi ndox yi indi saabu yi indi sanitizer indi yëpp waaye gis nga ñiy ñëw ci xew bi dañuy romba loolu noonu duñ ko use te ñu ngi leen a ñaan buñ leen invité xew ba ngeen fii ne da ngeen ci war a dem suñ leen ko fa tegalee use leen ko buñ leen ko fa tegalee it ñu ngi leen ay ñaan boo leen ay dem yóbbuwaale leen seen own. It is very important. Raxas leen seen loxo yi. Stay at home if you don't need to go out. Sanitizer yi make good use of it. Léegi wàññeeku na ba sanitizer ñëwee es ñu ko doon jaay lu seer a seer bi Gambia léegi mun nga am sanitizer si $75. Saabu yaa ngi fa raxas leen loxo yi di leen wane social distance is very important. Mask is very important. Su fekkee ne mask bi da nga ko war a use sànni ko use ko nga sànni ko bul use mask bi dugalaat ko sa baag nekk di ko useaat kon dimbalewuloo sa boppa lii yëpp ñu ngi leen a ñaax pour ngeen def ko parce que soo leen ko defutee rek da ngeen ay lor seen boppa lor seen njaboot surtout ñi nga xam ne dañ am njaboot bu sew loolu boo leen ko defee seen njaboot bu sew bi fii ngeen leen bàyyi te nit ñi du leen ko mën a seetal yéen ni ngeen mën a seetee seen njaboot bi soo seetaat leen ko bu baax kan ngeen ay dimbale Fatmata Kuka mii wax ndax yow sa boppa bi nga xam ne yow yaa war a aar sa boppa aar sa njaboot bi kon nag suñ toogaay fii di waxtaan ak yéen tey lu am important la su fekkee ne nag fii ngeen ne li ñu wax am na big importance te jàngee ngeen si dara ñu ngi leen ay ñaax ngeen share vidéo bi mu seen fu sore Jala jërëjëf comme ni ma ko defee thank you for coming on board man I have this chemistry with you su ma toogee di waxtaan ak yow dama dee feel very comfortable because dañ dee mën a waxtaan bu baax a baax ma jàng ci yow te yow tamit xam naa yaa ngi jàng ci man te ñii seetaan tam ñu ngi jàng ci ñun kon nag dama ne yéen a la fi yàlla yàggal parce que xam naa ne you are a very busy man but yaa ngi bàyyi sa li nga war a def yëpp ñëw toog fii pour waxtaan ak askan bi wallahi you're doing your part so thank you very much di wax ne tamit dig nañ leen dajee ba beneen yoon xam naa dinañ fi indiwaat Jala mu ñëwaat fii ñu ñëwaat waxtaan ci coronavirus bii nii so let's make good use of coronavirus bi di fi indi Jalanmang muy ñëw waxtaanal xëy na next time bu ñëwee dinañ laal leneen waaye terewul liñ fi waxtaanee tey tamit dinañ ko laalaat parce que foog ñu nekk di remind nit ñi of it if we constantly don't remind you of it wallahi dina nekk lu nga xam ne nit ñi duñ clock in duñ ko jël in nangu ne coronavirus bi is real ba pare di wax ne yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen ak may seetaan saa yu ma ootee man dama leen xew laa di am ni si suma live bi ma ne xew la saa yu ma ootee ngeen bàyyi seen soxla yëpp di ma seetaan di leen wax ne jërëjëf ñi ci YouTube bi ñi ci Facebook bi fépp foo leen maa seetaanee maa ngi kontaan ak ñi nga xam ne temps yi maa ngi gis ne dañoo jël suma videos di ko dock into audios di ko send nit ñi through WhatsApp. Thank you very much. I don't know who is doing that, but whoever you are and you're doing it, wallahi, mang la ko ñaanal ne la yéen la ko yàlla fay yow xawma kan la parce que dama day toog Sénégal ñu kool ma ne ma hey dañ ma seen sa audio ma ne ban audio ñu senaat ma ko ma kontaan ba bëgg a dee parce que ñi ñaa ngi ci di waxtaan ay audio yu gudda nekkul ay audio yu gàtta ñuy ko passante lii la Gambien bi munal boppam man mënumaa def ne toog fii wax ak laa mën a def yow miy dog audio yi nag di ko partagé te yu important nga nekk di dog di ko partagé wallahi ma ngi laa ñaanal yal na yàlla guddal say fan xaw ma yow kan nga waaye any tiyaaba bu ma am na ci liggéey bu ma def nii rek yal naa ko bokk ak yow ak sa njaboot kon nag gaa ñi jërëjëf ñu dig leen dajee ba beneen yoon Jala thank you very much thank you
Fatmata thank you
okay
Shy Boy Money Shy Boy Production
Sun shining, I'm warm. How you feeling? Well, I'm home. Couple thousands I just flown, got me feeling some type of way. Embracing this ground, my people, my town. Celebrating with this sound, we are feeling some type of way. I'm humbled that I come from a place like this. So let me show you around, sing it again. So humbled that I come from a place like this. Let me show you around. Smiling Cove, Smiling Cove. Yes, we're repping all day. There ain't no other place like the Smiling Cove, boy. Smiling Cove. Smiling Coast, yes, we're repping all day. There ain't no other place like the Smiling Coast, boy.
You missing out if you ain't from here. And don't be quick to judge from all the things you hear. Plus from a distance the picture's never clear. People give back, we care. Got so little but we share. Can't compare, you deke jama burajir. Rene deka yage here. Foreigners in your near. Tourists yage jabante back and forth throughout the year. Near. A peace of mind, sunny beaches. Love bird watching birds, we got different species. Rich in culture and the love leaves you speechless. Society groom, reality it teaches. We one like a puzzle putting together all the pieces.
I'm humbled that I come from a place like this. So let me show you around, sing it again. So humbled that I come from a place like this. Let me show you around. Smiling coast, smiling coast. Yes, we're repping all day. There ain't no other place like the Smiling Coast, boy. The Smiling Coast, the Smiling Coast. Yes, we're repping all day. There ain't no other place like the Smiling Coast, boy.
Digga na I different dikka. Funeka aglo fay feka. Fan ngay dem ñu all a lekka. Hamuñ la sa ola ang su don punya sa def ko ñetta. Ain't no other place this brother here could live better. Even beggars got homes. Get na guess ku fanan better. Su sere be serious. In winter you cool with just a sweater. Live in the Smiling Coast and never. To be honest, suma happiness like perta.
Sun shining, I'm warm. How you feeling? Well, I'm home. Couple thousands I just flown, got me feeling some type of way. Embracing this ground, my people, my town. Celebrating with this sound, we are feeling some type of way. I'm humbled that I come from a place like this. You should know. So let me show you around, sing it again. So humbled that I come from a place like this. Let me show you around. Smiling Coast, Smiling Coast. Yes, we're repping all day. There ain't no other place like the Smiling Coast, boy. Smiling Coast, Smiling Coast. Yes, we're repping.